welcome to Working On It. I'm Dr. A and I'm a clinical psychologist aiming to make your life just a bit more manageable. Remember, the tools and the tidbits that you pick up on this channel are purely educational. They can't replace therapy, but with some practice, they can help you along in your daily life. So let's get started. Today we will be talking about being right versus being happy. It's a weird thing to think that it has to be either or, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they line up. But sometimes they are against each other and it's a face-off. And guess what we pick? Almost always we pick being right. Whether we are talking to somebody else and trying to prove a point or a thesis, as I call it, to somebody else, whether we are talking to ourselves and trying to prove something to ourselves, we are experts at being right, meaning our mind is really, really good at gathering evidence for whatever theory it is we come up with, even if that theory makes us feel really low and really crappy, frankly. So we might be proving something to somebody else, but the thing that we're proving is very hurtful. And our mind is not going to be like, don't think about that, that's hurtful. No, our mind is going to go into our life and start to take a net and only pick up in that net times when it proves our theory. Or when we're talking to ourselves, saying things like, we're no good. These dates are never going to go anywhere that I'm going on. I'm never going to get ahead at work. I'm always going to be overlooked. And what does our mind do? Does it disprove that? Oh, no, no, no. Our mind gathers all the little things or big things in our life where it could support this theory. And great, we're right. We're right to ourselves, or we make ourselves right to someone else, but we are miserable. So we have to think about, is it worth the misery to be right to other people, to be right to ourselves? And if we don't want to be miserable and we choose happiness, then how are we supposed to do it? Well, we do the opposite of what our brain is really good at. If our brain is really, really good at gathering evidence for our theories, and our theory happens to be something that makes us feel not so good, or somebody else not so good, then we have to choose being happy by getting evidence against our theory. If our theory is, I always get overlooked at work, it's always somebody else over me and I never get acknowledged, then your mind will give you lots of examples where that's true. I want you to instead to say, well, okay, great, that makes me miserable, so I want to be happy instead. I'm going to think about all the times where actually I was acknowledged and actually people did show me appreciation, and actually I have gotten 2 bonuses or 2 promotions. Now we're traveling down the road of being happy versus being right. So when you find yourself being miserable or building a case in your mind, as we do, to support the things, how we feel about ourselves, to support something that we're trying to prove somebody else, but it's making you miserable, I want you to ask yourself the all-important question: would I rather be right or be happy right now? And let's say you recognize that you've been miserable for a couple of days. You can choose tomorrow to be happy. Say, okay, I chose being right these 2 days. I'm going to be happy tomorrow. I'm going to make sure that I don't live in this world where I'm proving this theory. I'm going to find evidence against it. Or you notice yourself spiraling into the being right. It's making you miserable. And you could say, I get to do this limitedly. I get to do this for 30 minutes. I get to be right for the next hour. And I get to be right as much as I want. I get to build a case, be my own lawyer. And when that 30 minutes is done, and when that hour is done, I'm going to choose to be happy. Ask yourself the question, your choice, which path you choose. But remember, sometimes being right means that you chose that over being happy. I post videos every Tuesday and Friday. Come back and see me next time. We are going to talk about this very elusive term that we hear that we assign to definitely older people, people who have a lot more experience in life than maybe where our station is, wisdom. But I'm going to tell you how actually we can be wise in our lives today, how we can make decisions in a wise way, how we can have relationships in a wise way, how we can think about our life or other people with wisdom today. We don't have to wait till we're 80 years old. We don't have to go into a forest and, be in solitary. I'm going to tell you how to be wise today and what that means. In the meantime, practice with what we talked about today. Ask yourself, do I want to be right in this moment, and do I want to be happy? And it's your choice what you choose. So practice, practice, practice. Come see me next time. Let's build on the tools that we have a really big toolbox that we created together. Let's build on that together. There's lots of videos that you can choose. Hit subscribe and the notification bell. I appreciate every single person that becomes part of our community that wants to grow and learn and advance their life in whatever direction they want. They want to alleviate suffering. They want to build relationships. This is the community for that. I appreciate everybody who's a part of it. And in the meantime, you got this. See you next time.